All right, I just want to make a quick video. YouTube is something. Sorry, I should have probably adjusted the camera before we got to this point, right? Well, that's just how I roll. I keep it fresh, right? I just want to share something to the channel. I don't do a lot of videos, not as many as I should, and I'm gonna try and do it a lot better because it's time for the podcast to really reach out and reach as many people as possible. And 2024 is the year that I'm going to dedicate to do that to that purpose. It was a little tough for me the last 3 years. I had some personal commitments that really I had to focus a lot of time on some stuff here at home. That those commitments are done. I don't have to worry about that anymore, at least for the time being. And so I'm really going to focus on bringing the podcast to more and more people, and I need your help in doing that. So if you like the things that we talk about on here or the podcast in general, um, please like, share, subscribe. You know the whole drill. I don't need to drive it into your mind. You hear it all the time if you spend any time on YouTube. It really does help. It helps my voice reach more and more people. So if you like the things that I have to say, share it. If you don't like the things I have to say, let's talk about it. Leave comments. I'm okay with that. I got pretty thick skin. I've had a lot of people hate on me throughout my life, and I'm not scared of a keyboard warrior. So, things I wanted to share. So, I just did an Instagram live. It's up on there if you want on the Range Minded Podcast Instagram feed. You're totally fine to go watch that. So, I want to bring some of this into that. We'll bring it together here. So, as I was talking about heroes in the firearms community, I ended up monologuing, which I do all the time on the podcast. If you're a listener, you know that for sure. But I start to thinking about about what's going on in Texas. Right, there's obviously a lot of drama. Um, in my opinion, Texas is doing Texas things right now, and I 100% support Governor Abbott and him doing the best he can to close that border because it is an invasion. And I'm not going to listen to anybody's little uh, pity parties about stealing the land from the. That's history. It's over. Okay, and it was more of a conquest. And you can hate me for that. I don't care. Uh, right now, the country is the country that we have, and we need to keep it. And it is the best country on in the world. Uh, I don't buy into the BS that you read in the news or that we see on the news. Um, and we talk a lot about on the podcast. You'll just have to listen to those shows and you can learn my opinion from those shows. I'm not going to talk about it in this video. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. But as I was doing that live tonight, uh, the preamble of the Constitution came to my mind. So I pulled it up, and this is important for all of us to understand, okay? And I'm just going to read this first paragraph. It says, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." All right. The most important words in that paragraph are the very first three. We, the people. What we've neglected, in my opinion, over the last many years, is uh, we've given our representation far too much control. It's us, we the people. The founders understood that the power and the peace of this country comes from its citizenry. That's what made us different than anything else at the time, and only a few other uh, republics have been tried before. This is an experiment. Okay, we the people. It's up to us. Okay, in order to form a more perfect union. What is a union? A union is coming together. It's a conglomerate, an aggregate of many, if you will. That's the point, right? The United States. We're a group of individual states. We're a family. And we're infighting. And we're allowing this small group of representation to give themselves more and more power, give themselves raises, let them feel more and more important. uh, that far beyond what I think our founders really hoped. In fact, remember what Benjamin Franklin said when asked by a lady after the Constitution was ratified. She asked, "What did you give us?" And he said, "A republic if you can keep it. If we can keep it, it's a republic, okay, a representative government." So, as a union, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. To ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Boy, let's give ourselves a grade over the last few years. It seems chaos has ramped up. I'm sure you can say from 2016, but it's been before that. It's just getting worse and worse, right? What's the key to fighting this swinging pendulum of fate? The people, its citizens, you and me, all of us, children of liberty, if you will. It's up to us. We will be held responsible for the course of this country by our kids, by our posterity. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that? How are we doing? The forces that be have been very successful in dividing that union, putting a wedge in us as children of liberty, dividing us into tribes, telling us to hate one another, to hate a specific thing about the other group, saying they're right, we're wrong, you're right, they're wrong, and we're just fighting back and forth. When that fighting takes place, we do not see what the representation is doing for themselves. And I'm talking both sides of the aisle. They're taking advantage of us by their own selfish greed. Both sides of the aisle. Now, this is my opinion. I know you may not like it. And if you don't, I'm sure you're going to tell me how I'm wrong. And that's okay. We need to have these conversations. Also, something else that came up, I never served in the military. I've never been a police officer, a firefighter, or a dog catcher. I've never held any kind of elected office. But as I was sharing stuff on Instagram, I thought about this as well. And I think this is far more important than what we think it is. I was thinking about the oath that is taken by the military when you get sworn in. I'm sure many of you are veterans, and I thank you for your service. Uh, as long as it was good service. I know you guys, if you have served, you know that there's some folks out there that maybe not have the best intentions in mind, be that as it may. So I looked up what the oath was when you're sworn into the military. And it says, I, obviously state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed. Okay. I was curious about this oath. To me, this oath is more of a covenant than an oath. A covenant is a two-way promise that we make with God. Now, before you start whining and pissing and moaning about there is no God, whatever, you have the right to think and worship how you may. I'm not trying to take that away from you. But I look at this as a covenant between the person taking this oath and whatever power may be above. When you make a covenant, both parties are bound. When you break the covenant, neither parties are bound. Are we breaking our covenant with God? I think we're in jeopardy of that very thing. If you've sworn this oath of office, now think about the president and every elected official makes a very similar oath. They make a covenant. You need to honor those oaths and covenants you make. Back to the preamble. We the people. Listen, do you want me to read that statement again? I'm going to read it again. And look for a covenant or a promise made here. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. To me, that sounds an awful lot like an oath and a covenant that we're making, that our forefathers made, and we are bound by the same. What's missing in the United States right now? What's missing is unity. What's missing is the family, the children of liberty. We have been successfully duped and divided into tribes. Those tribes are meant to destroy. We need to get out of that mindset. We need to look for what unifies us. And what unifies us? Liberty, freedom, the freedom to worship, the freedom to vote, the freedom to assemble, freedom to protest. That is not some dusty old document written so long ago that we just need to throw out because it's outdated. It is a covenant that was made, and we are still bound by that covenant. Sorry, my computer just shut off. That's my opinion. That's what's missing. Friends, it's time to reunite. It's time to renew that covenant, that oath that was made from the beginning. It's time to become a family again and let go of the things that divide us. It's hard. It's a conversation that nobody wants to make because it involves all of us giving up something to retain everything. That's my rant. Have a good night. By the way, if you like any of this kind of content, like, share, follow, whatever. We're Americans, and we need to be united. Behave yourselves.